Evening all. Okay, you asked for lasers, you're going to get lasers. So this was a really good battle. I guess they all are, really. I mean, even ones where we get completely stomped, they're still good fun. We always get something from them. Right, so, again, proper squad play. Oh my god, a dropship just crashed. That's pretty great. Anyway, this is proper squad play. We've got the 4 of us are in, and Porter and I are both doing lasers. And Eddie and Josh are basically just running and gunning and killing everything in their way. So, good squad play as always. As you can see, my squad's obviously responding to comms. We told them there's a sniper there, and they're off to deal with him. But here we go. This is the laser. This is a fantastic weapon, and I'm really getting to grips with this. Now, when I first tried this, it sucked, and I hated it, and I didn't bother using it again. Now, there is a reason why. If you're used to assault rifle gameplay, you're going to have trouble with the laser rifle because it's a very different type of gun. But as you'll see from this footage, you know, it is also a harvester of kills. And let me explain how it works. Basically, it's a continual beam of energy that doesn't massively damage on initial impact, but burns over time. And the longer you keep the reticule on your target, the more damage it actually does to them. And to be honest with you, they are phenomenally good mid-range guns. What I mean by that is snipers are obviously long range, assault rifles and shotguns are close, and I would say this is your happy medium between the two because, and let me explain. You need to skill this up. You need laser rifle operation at least 3, I'd say, because there's only one good laser rifle, and it's the ELK. And really, you know, this is kind of typical of most of the guns, is once you get to level 3, you start to unlock really good guns. As you can see here, Porter's got the range, I don't. So this is something to bear in mind. If you're going to go down a laser suit fit, you need to get light weapon sharpshooter as high as you can, because each level gives you 5% more range. And what you eventually find, now Porter's got, I think, level 4, and as you can see, he can pretty much counter snipers. So when we come across snipers, he basically has the range to actually just laser them to death. Now, lasers are particularly good when you're taking on entrenched players, because they're not necessarily moving a great deal. But when you've got runners and gunners, you know, lasers are maybe not the best. But just think of the concept of this. It's actually a pretty decent gun, and I think with the right damage mods, we'll do some theory crafting of fitting here as well, because some of the fittings that I'm finding now, if you've got the weaponry upgrade skills, you could fit 5% damage mods to this and get you 10% increased damage. If you're feeling flush, you could even put 10% damage mods on it, and this thing will then really start to melt stuff. You'll basically start to chop people in half as you shoot them. Now, we're going to do a bit of this because this is my second character. And again, just to really stress the point, one of the key things that I would stress is that you actually don't get penalised for having just one character here, or sorry, having for multiple characters. It is actually probably worth your while if you really are playing this a lot in starting a second character, and that way when you hit the skill cap on one, you jump to the other. But again, I know I've spoken about that before, but this is what I'm doing with this character now. So you know, really this is an Amar character. He's gonna, and again, I've spoken a lot about specialization. He's just gonna specialize in laser rifles and heavy suits, and that's it. That's all this character will do. So every time I play on this character, he's going to basically be, you know, a kick-ass, a kick-ass Amar guy, basically. And basically just rolling around. I mean, this map was a great map, probably not for our enemies, but it was good for us because the squad was really, you know, hitting it. We were, you know, basically just, you know, kind of pushing them right beyond the red line. So we'd red-lined them, I guess is the terminology for that. They'd all started sniping, and that was pretty funny because obviously they were all sniping. Now look at this. Now this is something to bear in mind. Lasers in close range don't do that. So don't use a laser if you're up close, and this is probably its true weakness. You need an SMG on your fit if you're going to run lasers, and that's simple as it goes. Because for when you get close range, close encounters, you need to be able to basically run straight in with the SMG. Now again, mid-range weapon only, that's really what it's for. It does some good damage to vehicles as well, I must admit. I mean, Porter's pretty much a pro when it comes to lasers, and that's all he's put his skill points into. And I haven't got I may have footage of it, but basically he shot down a dropship with a laser, this dropship was a militia one, so it's only a shit fit one, but he basically beaded on the dropship. Then all you saw was this continual stream of energy as it basically just completely decimated this dropship. So they're not bad. I mean, they're particularly odd weapons in that I don't think many, if at all any, people are using them. I mean, the only people I know using them now are Paula and I. So post in the comments if you use lasers and maybe just give us some idea of what fits you use. But I think particularly as a kind of weapon spotlight, this is well worth it. And I know at the moment we're not really kind of using it a great deal because obviously they're kind of being beaches about it because they're not really coming to fight us. Again, I know I've said this many times, be aggressive. And every game that you play like this, you have to be aggressive. If you play a defensive, passive style, you're just going to get absolutely owned, basically. Now, what we noticed was that a few of the cheeky scamps are basically trying to flank us and get C. So this is basically us trying to stop them doing that quite a bit. And again, I'm not sure why they're sort of spawning swarm launchers, but who knows. But again, I've lost my vehicle, my precious vehicle. Interestingly enough, if you spawn, if you create a character as an Amar or as a, I think it's Galante and Mimitar, apologies, you get the Balon as your staff. Look at that, chop, chop, chop. And that's, I think to me, that's a much better vehicle because it's faster. It has an armor repper on it, and I think it just to me seems a better vehicle than the other one. It used to be the other way. When missiles were good, I think people were okay about the Caldari one with the missile launcher, but seriously, CCP have just absolutely nerfed the missiles just beyond belief, to the point where the biggest, most scariest thing in the game used to be, oh my god, they've got dropship up. Now the funniest, most pointless thing is, haha, they've got a dropship up. Because to be honest, you used to be scared of these things, but now, to be honest, they just become an absolutely brilliant way to kind of practice your shooting down of vehicles. So, and I think that's a shame. It's kind of sad, really, because I think you should always have something in the game that does inspire a bit of fear, and I think it did used to be dropships because they were just ridiculously powerful. But again, they were overpowered, and I totally agree they were overpowered. That's my phone. And I think this is something really that I think is is kind of typical of the game, really, because when something gets too powerful, it gets used too much, and then all of a sudden people stop. People moan and complain about it, and then basically just becomes a shit fit. So that's what they've done to dropships. I hope you're happy. Anyways, here we go. Sniper. Mid-range sniper, and he basically just sat still, and then Porter and I melted. Now that's a really nice co-join of comms as well. Now this is where I would stress you start to get more fun from the game when you start to join comms. And let me explain. We were basically lining up targets, basically getting our sight on them, then shooting at the same time, so therefore we get the kill, definitely. And we also did this, Eddie and I did with sniping as well, where we'd find someone sat still sniping, and then we'd both get our target on them, take our time, and then we'd shoot at the same time, just to guarantee a kill. There is something particularly awesome about that, and I would stress, this is why squad play has to be king. In this game, and I think there's a good game for squad play because Eve is, oh god, that's a bit of a fail. Trying to drive up that hill. All right, let's just drive away and look like I meant to do that. And I think one of the things with Eve is that Eve is a group game. If you play Eve on your own, then crikey, I think it's pretty impressive if you play Eve on your own, because it's just not a game for that. You have to play in a group, just because of the nature of it. So here we go, another sniper. Let's just try and SMG him down. So you see here the different fit there. Basically, I'm just running a normal assault suit. I'm not running a heavy, but it's just a laser fit with a with an SMG. I think in my highs I've actually got shield mods, whereas I probably should put damage mods as well. But again, my fits have been terrible up to this point, but I'm now learning more, and I think actually every suit should have an armor rep. Not every suit, I think most of the suits should have an armor rep, because one of the key things you'll notice is that you'll get into a 1v1 engagement. Oh my god, that guy's looking. You'll get into an engagement, and basically what happens is If you win, you're then at a massive disadvantage after that because you've got no armour. So what I'm finding is it's actually probably better not to put an additional plate on and put a repper on. And then if you can, once you've won your engagement, just hold back, reload, and just give it a bit of time, and then you'll be up to full armour. Now, if you've got logistics, then great, but most of the time people don't, so I think it's pretty tricky. So here we go, LAV duel, Daka. See, I think we're winning this one. It's pretty much over, as you can see. Their MCC is down, their clones are down, and yeah, pretty much they're done. And then just see I've activated the armor repper on the car, so the car's now repping itself. It's awesome, isn't it? It's pretty cool. I think vehicles are just something I hope they do a lot more work on though, because I think at the moment there's a lot of choice and interesting stuff to do in the game with regards to suits and weaponry, but I don't think there's enough in the game yet to do with vehicles. So I think particularly with dropships, particularly with tanks, I think they need to do a bit of work there. But yeah, as you can see, it was a good fight. Hope you saw the lasers in action. They're particularly good. I would probably say they're a massive skill point drain though, so if you do want to use them, you're going to have to really skill them up. Otherwise, you're never going to have really a really killing fit. So just consider that. But anyway, there we go. That was lasers. Hope you enjoyed that. Next time, mass drivers.